Hey guys, gonna do a quick video on how to change out the turn signal switch on the 72 Challenger. It does work on most Mopars and pretty much GM, Ford, you name it, all the older cars, they're the same for the most part. In the case of this car, it does have headlights and taillights, but the brake lights and the turn signal isn't working, and that's normally an indication of the turn signal switch going bad because the power for the brake lights feeds through the turn signal switch and then out there. So we're gonna Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is pull off your horn button. It's just to press on so it pops off pretty easy. And then you have 3 7/16 bolts around the steering wheel. So we'll go ahead and remove those. And now that those are removed, you can easily pull off the steering wheel. There is, and I forgot to take it off, a little connector here for the horn. And you just want to back off that. Kind of hard to see. But you'll just want to back this off. I just pushed it through this way and it popped right off. Then you can pull the steering wheel out and get to the rest of the column. Alright, so now that we have the steering wheel off, you can see there's a 3/4 nut in there that holds on this column. So we're going to go ahead and get that nut off. And now that that's off, we need to remove this crush column here. This is where you'll need a steering wheel puller. You can rent them from pretty much any auto parts store, or you can go ahead and buy them. They're only a few bucks. So I'll go ahead and get that in and show you what it looks like. Alright, so the puller I have is too big to fit down in this crush can. So I'm trying it to see if I can use it using these nuts here that are for the steering wheel. They're only on by a thread or two, so probably not going to work, but we're going to go ahead and give it a shot. I've got it on by 2 nuts. I've got this nut, or the main bolt for the steering wheel puller, run all the way down, and we're going to try and give it some cranks and see what happens. I may have to go to the auto parts store and get a smaller one that will fit in the crush can, but we'll give it a shot and see. Alright, so we're getting a torrential downpour right here. Gotta love Florida. The puller that I had was a harmonic balancer steering wheel puller. This would not fit in the crush can. So ran out to the auto parts store, rented one. I'll put the part number in the description. Got the bolts in there. I'm gonna go ahead and use it now and crank it down to pull off the crush can. And just like that, it's off. So now you can see into the actual switch that will need to be replaced. I will have to pull out the wires from the sides. I'll show you how to do that once this rain stops. I want to show you why you should use a wheel puller instead of trying to jam a screwdriver up through here. Because as you can tell, someone's done it before and it's got a nice bend in there. Will it work? Sure. But does it make it look like junk? Definitely. Alright, so now we'll need to go and get the lower, there's like a plastic or metal piece depending on your year here, as a cover for the wires. And I believe we have to drop the bracket, sorry for the rooster. We have to drop the bracket so we can pull the plug through, and then we can take off the old switch. Alright, so this here will give you a good view. You can see that there's 2 bolts here on the actual steering column bracket that need to be removed. And then you have a Phillips head screw here, and then you've got one on the other side. Remove that, and then you'll be able to pull out the wiring for the switch. Alright, so I went ahead and undid the 4 bolts, and then I took 1 bolt out from the column where it sticks or mounts up in this side. On the other side, I loosened it, so the column is now somewhat loose, and I'm hoping I don't have to drop the whole column, but if I do, I do. So I'm going to go ahead now, and you're going to remove these 3 screws here that are Phillips screws to remove this retainer plate, as well as this 1 screw here that's a flathead, as that removes the turn signal lever. Screw out a little bit more. So this retainer is what holds in the actual switch, as well as that 1 screw for the turn signal alarm. Go ahead, put it down real quick and then get this out. All right. So now that that's out, use your flat blade and remove this 1 screw right here. And then you'll be able to take out the turn signal alarm. Alright, so I had to go ahead and take out the other bolt to drop the column all the way. Now that that's dropped, you can take this little plastic piece or metal, slide it forward, drop it down, and then you'll see all of your wiring coming through. And we'll be able to wiggle this forward enough to then get the switch out. Alright, so there's the switch out. So then it's going to be hard to do one-handed, so I'll cut back once I've got these wires fed through and out of the column. Alright, so I got the old switch pulled out. Just what I had to do is kind of feed it from the back end through the column and then get the angle just like that on the plug to pull it right through. So now we're going to go ahead and reverse everything to put the new one in. Alright, so the new one, we're going to feed it through kind of do it sideways because that's how it came out easier. I still have wires in there for the ignition. Alright, we're going to go back to two hands to get this out. Alright, so it was a pain, but I was able to finally get it fished through here. Had to use a long flat blade screwdriver to kind of help push it through and get it from the back. So now that this is in, we'll slide this up and you can see how it'll mount in. Your flasher obviously goes out here to the bottom right, and this will go and press on, and then we'll put the retainer back on. Alright, so again it started to rain, so sorry for the noise. I did get the switch and the retainer installed with the screws, also the shift arm, and you can now see how it moves very easily. A little bit tighter than what it was, but that's what you want. So now we'll go ahead and put the crush cam back on, connect in the horn button, sensor, bolt everything down, and we'll be good to go. Alright, so now I got the nut on the crush can. Go ahead and get the steering wheel, feed through the ground. Kind of hard to do it two-handed, but one-handed. But we'll feed through the ground. Get the wheel on, and then kind of hard to see, but get this connected. Kind of hard to do one-handed, but put this back on. Got this wire, goes right over that sensor right there, and then we'll bolt down the wheel and be good to go. Alright, and now I've got the wheel back on. Did verify that it is center, so not too hard of an install. Total about 45 minutes from tearing everything down to putting it back on. Probably the hardest part was fishing that wire of the new turn signal switch through the column to get out to the back end to get it plugged in. So that's how you replace the turn signal switch on a 72 Challenger. Again, it could be pretty much any e-body, Mopars, GM. For the most part, it's all pretty much the same. Thanks for watching, guys.